not a rocket. His arm is being back by tiny cartoon animals as far back as possible and then flung forward.
You've always said that I throw like a woman, so that
You do throw like a woman.
Super Flag Bros.
You actually look like our mom throwing.
You realize she was better than
Why
both
you
of you,
gotta say
right?
that? By far.
it's not nice.
Super Flag Bros.
I would say by the two of us combined, but the two of us combined is actually worse than one of us by ourselves.
I hate you guys.
PB and Jelly have a couple of veterans on their team as well. We have Joseph Cano and Jay Strachan. They both played for Griffins before. Joseph Cano being a receiver. Welcome everyone. I am Pease Delarize. I am joined in studio, of course, by my super flag bro. But he's like a bro, half removed, twice removed, most removed. In fact, I would hope he was more removed. Simon Dagenet.
I'm straight up a bro. You dream about me.
I do, nonstop. Although
actually happened.
you shouldn't dream about bros that way. I am Pease Delarize. This is Simon Dagenet. You can follow us. You can follow me at Pease FPF. You can follow Simon Dagenet at
Dagenet FPF. We have different Twitter handles. It's not us yet.
Yeah,
We're not there
soon. At Simon and Pease FPF. This is, of course, Super Flag Bros, the Division 6 podcast.
We should make that happen. Simon and Pease FPF. That's awesome.
Couples counseling by Simon and Pease. If you have issues with your relationship,
or any
FPF,
issues at all, because we're bored.
yeah, you should definitely contact the least qualified people you've ever met in Simon and Pease. Of course, our producer for the show is Chapman. Of course, you can find him at Reheating My Leftovers. And, of course, the technical director for the show is Eagle at Master Control. You can tweet him and tweet the show live by tweeting him at Eagle FPF. I would love to say we have a full slate of things to talk about, but that's simply not true. So we're going to talk about random topics, one of them being, of course, the award winners. But before I get to that, Chapman, what do we got?
Every great story seems to begin with a snake.
Absolutely, that couldn't be more true. The definition of FPF seasons can be defined by that famed Nicolas Cage quote, because in fact, the season is like a snake. So get ahead of the snake. Get ahead of the vicious, venomous bite of that snake and start planning your teams today. Part of that planning process, of course, is getting your new look, your new jerseys at Sportera. We are brought to you by the Sportera Cage, the official sponsor for Flag Plus Football. Come on, that wasn't bad.
That was
off
a
the
huge
fly.
stretch. it sounded like you were trying to ask
Speaking
the
of
girl
huge
out, but
stretches,
couldn't
how
do it.
is your mother, Simo?
Pretty good.
Nice.
She's healing.
So, Batman vs Superman dropped. I invited Simon Dagenet to watch it with me, and instead he'd rather waste a ticket than show up to a movie.
Bro, it was at noon. Who goes to the movies at noon? You told me Monday. Like, all right.
I have friends with kids, okay?
I didn't know. You're like, so I have a ticket. It's at noon, bro.
I did invite you. You said, no, I'm not watching that. See, because here's the thing. Here's the thing I want to bring up. Eagle, Chapman's a liker of things. I am a liker of things.
And that's why you didn't invite me, because you forgot. Huh?
I legit forgot until I was in the theater.
Every time.
I'm
Every
going to
time.
the movies regardless if the movie is good or not.
Exactly.
I'll enjoy it even if
Exactly.
it's bad because we'll make fun of it.
My favorite plot of every movie is explosions.
Plot.
My favorite plot twist is explosions. My favorite actor is explosions. And my favorite director is Michael Bay. That said, I asked the Eagle or GM if they wanted these free tickets. They're like, no, we're not watching that. Because they feel it makes them smarter to get ahead of the curve and hate it before everyone else hates it.
Hipsters.
So basically, they don't actually want to enjoy life. They want to think of themselves
on life.
as smarter than other people.
So you don't have a mic. Stop talking here.
That
Jesus.
said, I mean, we do like things on this show, so therefore we're going to dive
We love
into what we
everything.
love about Division 6.
I love
I want to look at the award winners. We didn't actually touch on it the week it happened, but we will gloss over it because it is important. I want to draw attention to guys who've done an amazing job this season. So, the Division 6 quarterback of the year, Joseph Cano, number 00 of PB and Jelly. He is, in fact, the co-creator of the the Peanut Butter Jelly Time song.
Cox, like as an actual team name, where we tried to put Pussy Bandits and that didn't go through.
We had a worse one this season, if you remember.
I do. it didn't go through, but Gamecocks is fine.
Well, because it's a reference to South Carolina.
No, it's an awesome
collegiate program.
It's an awesome name.
The South Carolina Gamecocks wins receiver of the year. 45 touchdowns, 615 yards,
45 receptions.
9 interceptions, 4 PDs, and one of those interceptions, of course, being a pick six. And the Division 6 two-way player of the year was Mickey Marini of Sabre FC, or as we like to affectionately call them on this podcast,
The Buffalo Sabres.
the Buffalo Sabres. He had 44 catches, 727 yards, 16 touchdowns, and if that wasn't impressive,
Pretty amazing. Team went undefeated as well. That's
Yeah,
a,
which-
that's a feat. We take into
especially like we saw
consideration.
in week 9 or week 10, we saw, no, sorry, week 9 because there was no bye week in Division 6. We saw PB and Jelly take on David DeAndre's tip-top shape. And like Joseph Kuno already had the upper edge,
Yep.
and like we could maybe give David DeAndre the award had he won that game and gone. You look at his.
Fast, and it's a known fact where QB of the year usually goes to an undefeated team. Well, it usually goes along
Often
that
goes
QB has
because you're
good
scoring a
stats.
lot
So,
to
yeah.
go undefeated.
Like, unless you win every game like 18-17, which is impossible. Like 19-18, you're gonna have monster stats, which goes along. And you guys went undefeated. You won every game, so QB made plays.
Absolutely. The wide receiver of the year, I want to discuss two guys who were possible beneficiaries. Chapman, I want you to dig up the stats while we talk more vaguely about this. There was Alexis Bissett and Vincent Alessandrini, who I thought could have been in the discussion.
That guy, I don't understand what he's doing in Div 6.
Which guy? I mentioned two guys.
Alessandrini.
Vincent Alessandrini? Because
He's a Div 2 player.
So, for those of you who don't watch the Division 3 podcast, every question I ask, Simon answers with the words yes or no. And then I have to ask because he doesn't understand that I need to,
You never
to
let
elaborate.
me finish.
Go ahead.
I take time.
All right.
And
Take
I
your time,
did say,
Simon.
because Alessandrini's a Div 2 player, he's an absolute monster.
He played in Div 1 this season, I think, for Rainmakers.
Well,
he
one
subbed
game.
2 games.
Yeah. 'Cause
But just to say, he was able to keep his own.
You know Tim Kramer from St. Lot Saints, who also plays Rainmakers?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know they're buddies from somewhere. I don't understand how. But
Parking lot.
Probably. But Andrini plays Stingers from Concordia.
It's true. He does. Chapman, did you get those stats for us?
Yeah, I did. So basically, Bissett had 26 receptions, 602 yards, and 13 touchdowns. And I'm not sure what. Alessandrini had only 28 receptions, 420 yards, and 13 touchdowns.
13 touchdowns. Like,
It's a lot of touchdowns.
But
It's
consider
not
the
as many
target.
yards.
But consider the target ratio.
Yeah, also
You know what I
Dick
mean?
Tactics, I think, he went on vacation for a
Dick
little while.
Tactics.
Dick Tactics went on
Yeah,
vacation. Maybe
yeah.
that's what stunted his stats.
Yes, it's all about stunting the growth of Dick Tactics.
Of course.
Obviously, the only reason.
So, given that, do you think Kyle Tanzer, Simo, was the legit winner of this? Because he did have more catches, more touchdowns. But Alessandrini did more with less targets.
Well, you could have hot games where you have big numbers, and then we've seen it all the time. A guy could have 4 touchdowns in 1 week, and then the next week he has none for like 60 yards. So it's tough to tell that the guy would keep the same amount of production. It's tough to say, oh, with 8 games we projected with 10. Like it's tough to project stats because you never know. The guy could monster up like 7 touchdowns in the next 2 games or have none.
Cool story, bro. What
Thank
I'm
you.
asking specifically is, should Alessandrini been...
No, that's exactly what I said. It's tough.
No, I couldn't follow because you took forever to make your point.
It's tough to predict, like
I'm
project.
not asking
stats.
to predict.
Well, yes.
We're looking at stats in the
You're
past.
exactly telling me the guy has only 8 games. The other guy has 10. Should the guy with
We're
8
also
win it?
saying that the guy had, his touchdowns per catch were much higher than the guy who had more targets, but therefore had more touchdowns.
Yeah. But that doesn't mean he would have made as many plays in the next 2 games.
Am I the only one who can follow Simone?
No.
Put your hands up. There we go. So for those,
You cannot see
Why
any
did-
of them, but
why did you put
nobody
your
raised
hands
their
up?
hands.
it's all off camera. The Eagle
one
President
did.
chose raised his hand.
No, he
So did
didn't.
Chapman. So did President Rob Campbell, who's
No,
in
he
another
did not.
room. So did Vince Nardone.
It's the same
But by the way,
room.
watch the Division 1 podcast coming up after this.
It's the same room.
I know, I was using for a tease. The Division
bad.
6 two-way
Oh,
player
you're so
of
bad.
the year. I want to know, should players from higher divisions be eligible? Especially when it comes to something like two-way, where you have guys that say, a guy might be playing Division 6, play defense Division 6, but not necessarily play defense. And I know he'll be eligible for Defender of the Year.
That's
But let's say he's a
always-
great receiver who only plays offense in Division
That's always
5.
tough. But Marco brought up a good point.
Marco who?
Maciota.
See, because not everyone knows who you're talking about.
On the Facebook page, when we asked about it, he brought a good point where...
When we asked about it.
When we asked.
Shut up.
He brought a good point saying you should be eligible in the division lower to the one you're playing currently in,
Mhm.
like directly lower. So if you're playing in 4, you should be eligible in 5 if you're playing in 5.
I actually think we should also not be dumb. Like sometimes with FPF we're dumb. Like we're saying, look, this is the outright rule. If you're playing a higher division, you're eligible. But maybe you're a role player who gets 15 catches every season on your Division 3 team. You're playing Division 5 and you get 50 catches. Why aren't you eligible? Like you play a different role on this team than you play on another team.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? Like, okay, maybe quarterback of the year you can say.
QB is QB,
but even
in my opinion.
but even in QB, there's a quarterback rating. So therefore, the divisions you're competing in are suited to your caliber.
You're eligible.
So you should be eligible because let's say you, Simon, you're a 74 quarterback, which is greatly overstated, but you can throw in Division 6. So therefore, obviously,
No, that's true. I
if
understand.
somehow you were able to throw in Division 6 and threw 60 touchdowns, big shit. But a guy who's a Division 5 quarterback goes down to Division 6 and is eligible, why wouldn't he be eligible given that we have a specific rating for quarterbacks in Division 6?
Yeah, but for QB, but that doesn't work out for, let's say, receivers.
But even receivers, let's
you could have a 90 in
Well,
Div
why
6.
make a hard and fast rule when we can say, listen, evaluating this guy, he's a bigger factor on his Division 6 team than his Division 3 team where he's just a role player.
Well, because the argument was based initially on if you have a D1 player that makes a team with
The argument was made in a pre-cap system, though, right?
as well.
So now that we have a cap,
But
where
even with
it's
the cap-
harder to cheat in that way.
Yeah, but we have the assumption that a D1 player could be playing in Div 6 with 5 other random guys that never played football before.
Can we just not be stupid? Like if a Kedmore takes 6 high school girls and makes a team and dominates because he's the Kedmore
gets
in
35
Division 1 of Montreal's finest. Yes, I understand. However, we can also look at him and be like, okay, we know this guy. Whereas a guy who's like a marginal player,
Okay, we
let's
don't
say
understand.
Chapman, for example,
Chappie.
who's Antonio Diversa, a solid player in Division 5,
I'll tell my
who's
real
on
name.
Division 6, has a great
No-
season.
no clue
He wouldn't be
Antonio.
eligible? He wouldn't be eligible even though he doesn't dominate the division he normally
In my
plays in?
opinion, yes.
There we go.
I
So
never
what'd you
disagree
say?
with you.
So your opinion is I'm right.
I never disagreed with you.
Every
The whole statement, I never disagreed.
Every conversation between me and Simo, of course, for those who don't know us and haven't watched the Division 3
Believe-
podcast, is a loud agreement. We never actually disagree. We just agree in varying
It goes
tones.
both ways.
in
I would say
volumes.
something, you would just say the same thing in different words and louder volume, and both our girlfriends would think we're arguing.
Absolutely. They do, actually, all the time. It's like Natalia will take my iPad for the day and she reads our text, our Facebook messages,
That's
and she says, "Why are you and Simo friends?" You say the worst things to each other. So two-way player.
Moving on.
Can we have considered David DeAndre or Dominic Benevento? David DeAndre of tip-top shape, quarterback, defender, 5 interceptions, whole bunch of touchdowns, or Dominic Benevento of NWO?
Well, DeAndre's the argument. We
Dig
just
up some stats, Chapman. Do your work,
well, that's we just mentioned. He plays for Team Etnic in the 4.
but not as a quarterback.
No, but as a defender. So
So
that
he's
kind of
there
takes away the
So he's only
two-way-
half eligible.
Well, you should be
Dumb
eligible.
rule.
Well, that rule says you should be eligible for QB of the year, but not for Defensive Player of the year.
President Campana changed that rule.
Please don't. Please don't. Anyways,
So fine, let's look at Dominic Benevento. Get us his stats, Chapman.
Stats. All right. So he had 31 tackles, 6 interceptions, 1 sack, 3 PDs, and 2 pick sixes.
So like a whole bunch of defensive stats. He
Yeah.
touched
He's
everything.
been everywhere.
Yes.
He
And
does it all.
on offense,
37 receptions, 334 yards, and 10 touchdowns.
so 10 touchdowns, a sack,
It's good.
6 interceptions, two pick sixes, versus a guy who had, 16 touchdowns.
hmm
So way more touchdowns. 6 interceptions, no sacks.
So same amount of picks, but we're trading 6 touchdowns for a few sacks, a few PDs, and 2 pick sixes. 16 touchdowns
It's a big deal.
Is a big deal. Like,
Yes.
It's basically what I am in my pants.
Hmm.
But
So
I
most
do
of the
like.
16 touchdowns in pads.
I'm a big deal.
Don't imagine that at all. Very comfortable.
But Dominic's stats on defense are pretty impressive. Like it's nice to see that a guy can do it all. Like he can play rusher and still have picks and pick sixes. The guy could be tossed around anywhere on defense and still make plays.
Defensive player of the year went to, as we said, Giovanni Bavada, who we love, who we talked about a million times. Tackles,
didn't, but go
interceptions,
on.
everything. But Jamie Steinmetz had 18 sacks. Charles David Martel had 17 sacks. Are sacks undervalued in FPF?
No,
As a
but 17 is not enough. That's not 2 a game. Like if you get 1 sack a game, it could change a drive, but it doesn't change a game. Like if you get a sack on a
depends when you get those sacks.
exactly,
though.
but if you get a sack
it's
on
you're taking the quantitative stat and making qualitative.
no,
Yes.
I'm saying
fact.
yeah.
Chapman, fact or unfact?
Unfact.
Fact or unfact?
Unfact.
Unfact. Okay.
Thank you. But if you get a sack on a first down, it's not as big as a game changer as a sack on a third down.
But you don't know if these sacks came on third or
Exactly.
fourth.
You do
interrupted passes and caused picks.
Not necessarily.
But usually,
Listen, I just think to solve all of this, you need to have a Rusher of the Year award. Just as there is a QB
that's
of
not
the
bad.
Year.
As a former Rusher champion, I see where you're going there.
Wait,
but that's not bad. Why not have a
Chappie
Rusher?
played
there?
Rusher?
Yeah, 12
Yeah.
sacks.
When?
And for many
A
years
couple
ago,
of seasons.
many pounds ago,
Yeah. many pounds.
Many
ago.
many
leftovers
chicken
ago.
nuggets ago.
So tasty.
That said, this brings us to, of course, Chapman's spotlighted moment, his overreactions of the week.
I'm overreacting. Nothing happened this week. There's no games.
Make it up. Find something.
You got
Overreact
nothing
about
to react
life.
about?
Of course not.
Nothing real life?
Right there,
You
yeah.
Nothing in
more
real life. Listen, real life, there's plenty of things.
Go on.
Okay, listen. I went to Tim Hortons today, and there's a guy who spent 15 minutes ordering because he just kept changing it and changing it and changing. The one time I decided not to go to the drive-thru, that damn ass.
You got. I saw. I was.
Says, okay, then I will stand in line 20 straight times and order these sandwiches. So then they looked at each other like, all right, what's your order? And I was like, I don't know, give me 5 number 1s, 5 number 2s, 5, whatever it was. They made me
From.
from Division 6
Are we talking spring or winter?
move up this spring, this coming season.
So.
Because the registration season, of course, is open. So if you have not registered your teams, make sure to do so. Wink,
starts tomorrow.
wink.
But yes.
I'm
if
already
we're talk-
registered.
starts tomorrow.
No, it's open. I already
No.
registered.
April 1st.
I used the app today.
Anyways. I don't care. Anyways.
Apparently, facts don't face Timo.
No, you do not. If we're talking spring, Tip Top Sauce,
Tip Top
the
Shape,
Tip Top
perhaps.
Shape,
Tip
and
Top Sauce is an awesome name, by the way. You should change
Top
your name to
Sauce.
Tip Top Sauce.
PB and Jelly should move up to Div D. Div E is a bit stronger than Div 6.
Yes.
And so
We
A
always
lot
say in
of-
the springtime, Simo, that the
teams are stronger.
teams are stronger because you're playing the real flag teams, right?
Yeah, because you're not. Well, two, because we have less teams, so we're like the teams are more concentrated, and you have better players for the same teams. And divisions are always like in betweens. Like Div E is more like 5.5, like a mix between 5 and 6. So all the average teams in Div 6.
No. Why
No.
make things simple?
Why do you
Eagle-
let him talk? He doesn't have a mic for a reason.
You
Yeah,
don't
no.
listen to I don't listen to
Eagle
him.
said call it 5B.
We don't care. Anyways, so if you're an average, if you finish 5 and 5 in Div D and Div 6, you should consider going in the same division again with your experience and be better. But now if you're playing in Div E, you're already gonna have a bigger challenge. So I would say for most teams, Div E is a good upgrade. But I could see Tip Top Shape and PB and Jelly move up. Even Gamecocks and Brick Squad, they did really
Game
well.
what?
Gamecocks.
Game
and
what?
Brick Squad.
Nice.
They could probably move up to Div D if they add one more player that makes a difference on their team. They could definitely be a dangerous team. In the
Are there
team.
teams that should stay in Division 6/E and fine tune before moving up? And I'm looking specifically at Jean-Guy and Smoke and Axolotls. What would you do for either of these teams to help them make that step into
It's
the next
tough.
division?
It's two veteran teams. Like we're not talking brand new
No.
teams. We're talking teams that's been around.
Comes delivered to your door.
That is not true. That's exactly what. If we're talking about show me your Jean-Guy, it's not. It's not drugs.
Okay, I wasn't saying it was drugs.
You
saying
cannot
drugs?
have it delivered.
Dude,
to your
are you
home.
are you propagating the sale and purchase of illegal substances in the
Nope,
show?
I'm not. I exactly told you it is not that. I'm not
I
Darren
didn't think it was that
Bassett.
either.
I do not sell drugs.
That's true. So what can they do? Like, what can these teams do specifically? Though?
It's not like I like the core of the team, but I find they're missing some. They're missing like one key player. Add a two-way player, higher division that fits your cap. If you're moving into Div E, you have more cap room. With that in
But
mind,
Smoke and Axles, for example, they've tried it with Jada Reedy. They've tried it with
Smoking
Jordan
Axles,
Rossi.
it's a guy. It's junkyard dogs with a different quarterback.
Not really. It's
But
a team that added a couple of guys from Junkyard Dogs.
Okay.
It was a separate roster initially,
really.
and it kind of merged.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would go with the same direction where, listen, if your quarterback wants to play quarterback and he's a captain of the team, you can't really kick him out. So look at the higher division.
Mutiny.
Yes. Look at the higher divisions like Div C or Div D. Get a two-way player that's a strong player that will fit your team and your cap and fits the way your team goes. And get a higher division player to help you guys out to learn different plays, different schemes, and make plays for you guys. And from there, the team looks better. But it's tough as just move up the core itself, division over. Experience doesn't necessarily push you over the edge.
Fair. So now we're gonna. I want to get into something really quick. I want to go into all the favorites won in the last week of
Okay.
action. Okay, now what we saw is all the favorites winning. And we spoke about this with President Rob Campan, and what he did was he gave us a very politically correct answer
He
because
always is.
he has no choice. It's his job. So as uncomfortable I try to make him, he gets all Obama on me, and I can't do anything. So now that I have Simon Dajé on the show, Simon, what does that mean for the division, and do you have a solution for this kind of issue, and is it even an issue at all? So 3 questions, make an answer, do it.
No.
Because
It's not an issue in my opinion because it could happen both ways. I find that any given Sunday in FBF, any
or
team
Thursday,
could-
Wednesday.
yeah, any team could beat any team could beat anybody. In this specific situation, the favored ones won, but we've seen it all the time where upsets happen. The 8 seed beats the 1 seed. It could just literally be coincidences.
That's true. Chapman, what I want you to do for the next segment is dig up 3 random questions for Simon, and he has to answer it with football cliches.
See, much better than last time. But go
Well,
on.
because I tried the Mad Libs with Chapman, but then he. So here's the thing: is we unnecessarily expose all our problems on this show and live on air, which has bothered so many people. But until I get told to stop, I'm gonna keep doing it.
What problems?
Chapman's on his period, so he gets it. He doesn't get it once a month. He kind of gets it once a day. So you're gonna catch it if you catch him in the wrong hour. He just answers you super shittily when you text him something.
Or plays
So-
really well football. Like,
He
when
does,
He just
though. He
wakes
does.
up. He's angry. He's sleepy. He hasn't ate yet. He gets 2 picks, 2 touchdowns.
When he can't be impregnated. But the thing
I
is
tried,
that today I caught him on one of his moves, and I was like, "Hey, chap, can you come up with some Mad Libs for Simo?" And he gets so angered by this because he truly does not understand what Mad Libs are.
And Google is not his friend.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't
Nope.
get it. He's like, "I'm not writing this bullshit. It takes too much time." I'm like, dude, just fucking. Just just bleep and Google it. It's not complicated.
So you're swearing on the show.
Yeah, I did that thing.
So I'm allowed now?
No, still no. So anyway, that said,
We need
it's
to
all-
shut him up.
we-
Do you have tape?
No, I just don't listen to him. We've aired all our grievances now. Everyone knows our dirty laundry. Simon, with that said, Division 6 has an advantage that they didn't have any games last week, so now they get 2 weeks of analysis. We heard my
Huge
own
advantage.
analysis last week. I'm gonna give you the opportunity
Okay.
to analyze the games that are coming up this weekend. And you tell me who you think will win and why. Please don't let me say because. We have the number 1 seed Tip Top Shape taking on the number 4 seed TDs and Beer. How do you think that game will play out?
I like TDs and beer, but I think the matchup is not in their favor because I find that Tip Top Shape is really good at taking away the deep plays and making you grind the field, and I find that TDs and Beer's offense needs a spark from time to time. They need that long play to push them over the edge and get them going and they grind their gears, whereas Tip Top Shape, they'll take that away and they'll force you to grind.
But that said, Brad Evans of TDs and Beer will pick apart the short zones. The thing he does
Yes.
well.
But can you do it 30 times in the same game? Can you do it constantly, every single play, forever, without getting any sparks from... Unless, like, Tip Top Shape miss tackles and allow a 30-yard
Mhm.
run after the catch, I find that TDs and Beer need that spark to get going, and I don't think they're going to get it.
So for you, it would really take TDs and Beer to fall apart Tip Top Shape to fall apart defensively for TDs and Beer to have a chance.
Yes, they will need to allow big plays early in the game to give TDs and Beer that momentum going, and then Tip Top Shape to play catch up with them.
Mhm.
And that's the way TDs and Beer could win this one, is to keep the lead and maintain it. So either with PATs or just straight up scores.
Sometimes you're hard on Diablos, but they
Sometimes,
take
all
on
the
Team Laval this week. I pronounced that properly. Simo, give us an analysis between the Diablos at the number 2 seed and Team Laval being the 3 seed.
I really like Diablos in this matchup simply because
Nice. I was going to say it too. You
it's
can't
Word of the day.
it's veterans, to be honest. Like, I know Diablos, I know them. I've played either with them or against them in the past. They know what they're doing. They're not a mistake-free gang, but they stick around in every single game. Like, they're never down by 20 points and give up. They're always gritty and fight back. And I think that now the playoffs are around, it's more important now than ever to never give up. Like, if you're down by 2 scores, it doesn't mean the game's over.
How can you warn a team like Team Laval who's new to FPF about Georges Faster Elivoyer?
How is he faster?
He's faster than you think when
Well,
you first see him.
I know. I tell him all the time.
But
"You're
he's
slow."
fast. Open.
Because he's faster.
Then what?
Then you think.
Nice.
No, but I think he has to be the playmaker for Diablos. There's a reason he's the captain on that team, and he has to be that guy for François Martin.
Mm-hmm. A type of bird that you catch in the wild would be considered, in fact, a gamecock. The Gamecocks, the 2
Terrible
seed, take
segment.
on Brick Squad.
Terrible.
They're the 2 seed versus the 3 seed. How do you see that game shaking out?
I think that's the best game on the docket this week.
What is a docket, by the way?
I don't know, like a piece of wood,
Chapman, look at a docket.
like a piece of wood that acts like a dock. I have no idea. I'm just really making shit up. In
Today's Sunday.
They need to have the game of the
April
nights
3rd.
on Sunday because it's going to come down to who can make a play for their team rather than just basic team against team matchup.
All right, so we have the final game, PB and Jelly, perhaps the greatest sandwich, takes on something probably memorable for wrestling fans, and NWO. What wins? Why? Because?
PB and Jelly, because
Win.
one. I said Brick Squad is going to beat Gamecocks,
Okay.
but I do say PB and Jelly are beating NWO. Diablos are winning.
And tip-top shape over TDs and beer.
Yes.
All right. So that brings us to a new segment called Simone Says.
Yeah, so I
Related
ask
to
him
children's
random
game.
questions, and here come the football cliches.
Awesome.
How big is your TV?
Yes, it is.
Simone Shoots Hoops. in
I
Montreal.
do not. There is
Thursday
no
night.
possible way. If Nicolas Cage shows up here, I'll bill you.
We will do our press conference. We will find you and we'll ask you very politely to join our podcast.